A supermarket manager yelled at me for using too many coupons. What he secretly did at checkout made me cry in the parking lot. I was 23, a single mom with a 2-year-old working part-time while finishing nursing school. Every penny mattered. I'd spend Sunday nights cutting coupons, planning meals around sales, and calculating to the dollar what I could afford each week. That Wednesday evening, I was at Save Mart with my carefully organized coupon binder and a cart containing exactly $78.42 worth of groceries. You panned to the precise amount I could spend after rent, utilities, and gas. My son was overtired and fussing in the cart seat as we got in line. The checkout area was busy with only 2 lanes open. The manager pawn, a tall, stern-looking man in his 50s with Richard on his name tag permed, was bagging for 1 lane while eyeing the growing lines. When it was finally my turn, I apologetically handed over my stack of coupons to the teenage cashier. "I am sorry, there are quite a few," I said quietly. The cashier smiled and began scanning them, but about halfway through, and Richard walked over. "How many more of those do you have?" he asked sharply. "About 15 more," I answered, feeling my cheeks flush. He exhaled loudly. "This is holding up the entire line. You can't just bring in 50 coupons during the evening rush." People behind me started shifting uncomfortably. My son chose that moment to knock a candy bar off the display, and I felt tears threatening as I bent to pick it up. "Next time, come in during off hours if you're going to do this," Richard continued, his voice carrying down the line. "Or better yet, shop at a discount store if you need to save this much." The teenage cashier looked mortified but kept scanning. I fought back tears, wishing I could disappear. The items I'd selected so carefully were being bagged, and the total showed $61.28 after coupons pair, a savings of more than $17 that represented 3 days of meals for us. As I fumbled with my worn debit card, avoiding eye contact with everyone, Richard spoke again. "I'll finish up here," he told the cashier. "Go open lane 3. Great, I thought, now he's going to rush me through personally. The cashier looked confused but moved to open the other register. Richard stepped into her place and, still frowning, leaned in slightly as he processed my payment. "I apologize for being short with you," he said in a voice so low only I could hear. "My mother raised 4 of us using coupons after my dad left. It's not easy." Before I could respond, he continued scanning, then discreetly pressed a series of codes into the register. The total dropped by another $20. "Manager's discount," he murmured, still not making eye contact. "For the inconvenience." I stood there stunned as he bagged my groceries with surprising efficiency, placing the eggs and bread carefully on top. "The store loyalty program has double coupon Tuesdays before 10 a.m., he added quietly. "Much less crowded than 2. I nodded, unable to speak past the lump in my throat. "Your receipt," he said at normal volume, handing me the paper. "Have a good evening." It wasn't until I reached my car and looked at the receipt that I noticed he'd also added a rotisserie chicken and a pint of ice cream. I hadn't purchased parent items I'd never allow myself to splurge on. At the bottom of the receipt was a handwritten note. "Hang in there, it gets better." I sat in my car and cried, burned from relief, from being seen, from the kindness hidden with an apparent unkindness. The public scolding had been a cover for private compassion. I shopped at Sap Mart every Tuesday morning after that. Richard was always there, efficiently running the front end. He never acknowledged our exchange or treated me differently from any other customer, but every few weeks a small unexpected discount would appear on my bill, or I'd find that my total was mysteriously a few dollars less than I'd calculated. 2 years later, when I finished nursing school, I brought him a card. I'd never mentioned that night, and neither had he, but I wanted him to know what his kindness had meant to me during the hardest time of my life. I handed him the envelope during a quiet moment at the store. "What's this?" he asked, looking confused. "Just a thank you," I said, "for shopping at Save Mart," I added as a customer approached. He nodded, understanding the cover. Later that week, he was bagging my groceries when he said casually, "My sister was a nurse, hard profession, but worth it." It was as close as we ever came to acknowledging what he'd done.